Well, hello, and welcome to an all-new episode of Sam Spins the World. I'm your host, Samantha Ravenkamp, and I'm going to share with you this really awesome craft that I learned through the Berks County Parks and Rec. Thank you for that amazing cast resin class back in November. Now I'm hooked, and I'm going to show you how you can easily make any of these from different rings, which are just super cute. You can do so many different things with them. I obviously have a blue problem. I just love it so much. Making really cute little jewelry sets for our nieces. They're gonna love them. And I'm making really cool jewelry sets for the other ladies and whoever else wants them. But you are going to come on the journey with me, and you're going to learn how to make these really beautiful earrings using pressed flowers and a little bit of like pizzazz slash glitter, some UV resin, and your imagination. It's really cool if you're able to find things in nature or in your own garden that you know dry well, and then you can put them into these creations that you're making. And then it's like a double whammo of you not only making this really great jewelry that's super light, by the way, and sparkly, and if it drops, it's going to be okay. But also then saying, oh yeah, and the flowers inside, grew them in my garden and dried them because I'm that person. But really fun with different shapes and stuff. This is like a little octopus earrings, made a little sparkly purple to match the purple ring. So much fun. I had a lot of fun making these two-toned red gold jewel ones. Endless possibilities. But the thing I just did most recently, upon discovery of the things you can do, you know, marmalade, my girl. Well, I wanted to see if I could take her photo and put it in things. So here she is, super cute marmalade with a little purple sparkle because she's in front of those beautiful purple bushes that are in my yard. And so I've taken little tiny pictures of her and made them into these charms that people can put, wear as a necklace, of course, or attach it to a keychain, or hang it at your desk or whatever. But this one has one of those flowers, which is really fun because it goes along with little baby marmalade. Just super cool, really fun, gorgeous pressed flowers, little sparkle, and a little time. You can make basically anything. You get super crafty too and just do like some abstract things. It's hard to tell because of the lighting and stuff, but there's a butterfly in there, which is really fun. And just what a cool, thoughtful, and original gift. Made this, has 3 stones in it and just clear, really pretty. And I mean, you know, you can make it edgier if you want, a little skull and crossbones. Anyway, you're gonna learn some fun things. This is a cupcake holder that I spray painted and made it a jewelry holder because that's where I'm at right now, and it's really fun. And I look forward to sharing all of this with you. This has flakes of gold in it, and a ladybug from the garden. No, I'm not a savage murderer. This time of year, sadly, I do find ladybugs who have not survived the cold. So I use that. If you're not into using dead bugs, that's okay too. But look at that with the stones and the glitter. Oh, it's just so pretty. So hopefully you enjoy this, you get into it, try it. And absolutely, regardless of what you do, check out the Berks County Park System or the park system near you, because those people are awesome and they really come up with really spectacular and fun crafts, from making holiday wreaths, walking in nature, picking things, drying them, turning them into cast resin, and what have you. Some rose petals, bits of gold, and some glitter. That's going to be a beautiful necklace for somebody in my family. or friend or shop if I end up doing it. But it's great. It's easy. And you don't have to worry about, you know, if things don't happen exactly how you want, maybe they'll happen in a way that's cooler that you wouldn't have thought of. Or worst case scenario, if like you make something and realize like it's not up to snuff, you're not really wasting that much material. It's totally cool. So just want to remind you that I heart you, and you're the star of my eye. Welcome to my UV resin workstation. You might note some things that you have around the house and I'm going to point out. Obviously not everything. Some things you will have to invest in, but some things that you might already have. When you get takeout, you're given chopsticks, if you're getting food that requires chopsticks. These cute little dishes come in handy. I utilize one of them for the scraps, and these teeny tiny little solo cups I use for mixing different colors, which is super easy. Let me point out a couple things. I have molds that are specific for UV resin. For those that got into Sculpey, those kind of work, but they don't work as well because it's thicker and really expecting to get clay put in it, or like precious metal clay too, which then can get heated up. But the ones that are made specifically for it are the easiest to work with. So the holidays are coming up. I'm going to be making a lot of different things, and I'm going to be utilizing the dried flowers, some really fun colors for the kids, for different earrings and stuff for the girls, some makeup sets. Hello and welcome to my UV resin setup. I am using this thanks to my awesome UV resin guide, this is how I learned how to do it, through the Berks County Park System. Big shout out. I like this kind, especially because it doesn't have a smell. I have gotten other kinds that do have a smell, and it's quite potent and it ruins it. So you're going to need a light that is often used for gel nails. So this was like under 15 bucks. The molds, if you're going to be making like jewelry, earrings, you would need the parts that make it attached to your ear. And you need to have patience, determination, and a little bit of grit. Some fun things, takeout items that usually just get tossed or thrown into a drawer forever, I use for that. So I use this one for scraps. This I can use for mixing things or for holding rings that I'm making. Anyway, so that's the setup. I'm using this silicone mat upside down. On the other side, it has all these pie measurements and stuff because it's for baking, rolling out dough and whatever. But this material does the best with UV resin for being able to easily take it off. You can also get some UV resin tape and just cut off pieces of it and put it in the area that you're going to be using if you're going to do freeform and away from a mold. But if you're using molds, you don't really need to put the tape down or anything. And just to point out, sometimes there's a little extra that lingers behind, and it's important to clock it, remove it, and put it in your scraps or whatever, just because you don't want it getting attached to a new project, because that would stink. Today, we're going to together see how I did these. These are really pretty earrings. I'm going to have to use a little file to get off some of the little hard parts because, you know, little things happen. It's par for the course, and it's not a big deal. If you make something and then there's just like little bits on the side, don't just throw it out. It's super easy to file off and polish, and then it's good to go. But by taking a little bit of glitter, a little bit of UV resin, and some dried flowers, you're able to make really extraordinary things. For my mermaid family, I've started making these really cute earrings out of sand dollars. And then for all the little girls in the fam, they're going to get these super cute, really fun colored earring sets, rings, you know, whatever it takes. And we'll go through some other things. So just sit tight and away we go. Okay. In order to make earrings like this, we're going to be using this mold. I like this kind of a set because it has 2 of each. Some other ones only have one of each, so then you have to take the time to make one and then start over again and make the other and hope that you remember how you did it exactly, which to me is asking a lot. I'm going to be using some of the UV resin. Blue Moon is the best in my opinion, not just because my awesome instructor through the Berks County Park System said so, but because I've discovered this one has no smell compared to a lot of other brands. And you don't want to make things and give it to people that has like a really obnoxious chemical smell. So first things first, it's all about layers, player. Tiramisu, tiramisu. So first I'm going to do a base layer. You could just do a clear base layer, but I'm going to add some sparkle just to add a little extra something something with the dried flowers. The dried flowers by themselves look beautiful, but I do like to add a little sparkle. You can add little bits of metals like gold or silver. You just have to carefully do it. You don't want to overdo it. You don't want to put too much glitter in because you don't want it to be chunky. If it's too chunky, it's going to set weird. So it's all about moderation and layers. And not panicking if it doesn't come out exactly how you love it or how you envisioned it, because this is real life. So just calm down with that. My instructor was a bigger fan of using toothpicks, and toothpicks are awesome. I just found that these smaller crafting sticks are really great for being able to direct the UV resin more quickly. If it's a smaller thing that I have to deal with, then yes, absolutely using a toothpick. But for a big earring like this, for right now, it's totally okay. Let me just show you. I am taking my time making sure that the whole thing is coated and that there aren't any spots that are empty. What I have discovered, if you're not paying attention, you could be making a beautiful thing and then there's going to be a big divot because you didn't realize, hey, there's a bubble or you didn't cover the whole space correctly. So we're wanting to avoid that. Now that I have this set up, I'm going to use a UV light and it's going to sit here. And with the UV light on, I'm going to go do something else because you don't want to stare at it. It's a pretty blue color, which I'll show you. For me, the hardest part is not looking at this light the whole time. You can see it through that because it's not direct, but now I'm going to walk out of the room for a second. Now that that is over, I'm able to tippy tap on this, and I know that means that it has set. So now I'm going to do the next layer. I'm going to start adding flowers. I'm going to try to make them symmetrical-ish, but so first you're going to decide what flowers you want. If you want to have green behind them, you could just straight up do flowers. You could also add some stuff. So let's see what we could do. Let's get creative here. Okay. Let's see. This is going to be too big. So does this fit? Almost. It's like a very much trial and error situation, and you shouldn't get too bent out of shape over it. It's just for fun until you make it into a business, but that's your choice. That would be equalish to here, I think. Okay. Now I didn't put anything down yet because I'm just testing the waters. So I have that. No, it's not exactly even. So what you can do is any of the ones that you've like taken off of somebody else, you can add, try to make it more even. If you care about that kind of stuff. If you don't, awesome. Good for you. Good for you. Not exactly the same, but that's okay. I'm gonna want to add maybe a little pop of color, a little burst. Now remember, I did not put any UV resin down because I want to be able to move stuff around. Okay. And let's see if I can do it like that. Okay. Ish. And then, am I going to change it up color-wise? Let's see. I have purple so far. So maybe if I could find these little pinks are cute. I'm going to carefully, because dried flowers are very fragile. Let me see. Here. Come on, little guy. I'm going to use tweezers to get whatever that little mark is. And I think I'm going to leave it like that. I don't want to overcomplicate it. I certainly don't want to make it too full. It starts to take away. Simplicity is your friend. Oh boy. I don't want to break anything. Beautiful flower, excuse me. I'll leave that here for now. So now that I have an idea of how I want to place it, I'm going to now add the resin on top. First, I'm going to do a clear layer. I'm going to do it very carefully. Bubbles might happen. And, you know, there are some tricks to try to get rid of the bubbles, or maybe you might find the bubbles very cool and go with the scene you're making if you're doing like an aquatic scene or something. But here we go. Slowly filling it one more layer with just clear. Now I'm going to do the same thing over here. There's a big bubble. I just popped it. You don't want to be driven mad by fighting all the bubbles. You could use a toothpick or a pin and try to push the teeny tiny bubbles over to the sides. It's up to you. They don't bother me. I think they add a little something. Okay. This one layer is now ready for the light. Okay, let's see how that went. Nice. You hear it, you know that it's hard, it's not sticky. They look really pretty. And now we're just gonna do the top layer, and I'm going to make it clear with just a little sparkle. I just love that. I think it's festive. It makes for great gifts. And the flowers themselves are gorgeous, but just a little extra, you know, when making gifts for people, in my humble opinion. That's just my style. Some people are more of a plain Jane, and that's totally cool. But now we're doing the thing, we're making sure that it's getting every inch of the space. You don't want there to be a divot. You know, if that happens, it's not a big deal. You fill it in, but it's just so much nicer if it all works the first time. Yeah, I like that. Now to this side. Gorgeous, just gorgeous. And now you start planning ahead thinking of gardening season for what flowers dry the best and will look the best in resin. Make sure these are earrings, so I'm making sure that it all gets covered, but not the actual hole. If that happens, there are ways to gently get through the hole. If you force it, unfortunately, it will crack, and then, you know, it's unsightly and you're not going to want to give that to anybody. But okay, there it is. Making sure it's even. I like the look of like a little bit of a bubble up. I feel like it didn't go all the way to the side here. There we go. Okay. Over here does not look like it's reaching all the way to the side. Okay, there we go. Again, everything can basically be fixed for the most part, but you don't want to do all this work and then all of a sudden, you know, hate what you did or be mad at yourself. Okay. These two don't need to be together. All right, now I'm just being silly for placement, but all right. I feel like there's two here. No, just one giant one. Okay. All right. And then we're going to do this. And then we're going to go boop, boop, boop. And then we're going to plug it in real quick. So funny. Plugged in. Boop, boop, boop. And we'll come back to this. All right, big reveal time. Let's see how it came out. Let's put in the sun, little rainbow sun coming out. Hope you'll see it. Super easy. When you peel it out, you might note some things. It's not that big of a deal, but there might be some tags that can just snap off of excess resin that, you know, hung out. If it's scratchy, you're going to use like a jeweler's file or a small craft file to easily just smooth it out and then polish it. But so pretty. Yeah, it's going to look great. I'm going to take the other one out. What I like to do is flip it over, and because the back side, I don't know, or the bottom, depends on, you know, what you want to call it, might be a little sticky just because it's on the bottom. So I'm gonna do the light thing one more time just to secure it. But so pretty, so sparkly. Someone's gonna love them. And they're super light, by the way, you guys. This isn't heavy. It's not like it's made with mercury or glass. Oh, little tag, boop, little tag, boop. Okay, that doesn't work. If it's too little, or even if it's just sharp, just, there you go. It was that easy. It's not that bad. So let me do the light one more time, and then I'm going to show you how we attach the earring part, and then bing, bang, boom. Okay, now that they are nice and solidified, I'm going to be adding a jump ring and an earring hook. That's the front way I could tell because in the middle of the flower. Perfect. Boom. Like that. Push it back together. You don't want to stretch it out too much because then that loses the integrity. You never want to lose your integrity, but just, oh, so pretty. And just think how special and unique it is to make people cool gifts, one-of-a-kind gifts. Things that they can't. Oh, okay. Oh, no. So I bent it a lot, which is fine. Sometimes you see how long the tunnel is. You have to do that just to get it through. But then you just manipulate it back into its original shape, slink in the earring, and boom. I went with silver because I thought it worked better. You can go with whatever, gold. And then just, whoop, I gotta tighten that. Be mindful of people who might be sensitive to nickel and other metals that have allergic reactions, because you obviously don't want to give a gift to somebody that would make them sick, because that would stink. All right, there you go. Gorgeous. I'm going to show you some of the other things I've made and then let you get super into it. So beautiful. Oh, hey, you got me just admiring the earrings we just made together. Thank you so much for joining me on this episode of Sam Explains the World. I hope you immediately register for a class through the Berks County Park System or whatever park systems near you. I had a lot of fun teaching you how easy it is to use UV resin, and hopefully it's something you'll, try and be able to make all of your own gifts for people. Or maybe you're going to want to be more thrifty than me and make a business out of, making things and selling them on Etsy or the farmer's market or the holiday bazaar that happens all over the place where people bring their crafts. It's a great way to spend time and really fun to immortalize loved ones, if you're into it. I look forward to seeing you next Friday at 9 p.m. right here on BCTV.